We're gonna tackle this big monster. Okay guys, I got the spare tire dropped on the Silverado. Looks like I need to buy one of those too. Check this out. Maxxis Bravo HT, Maxxis 750. But look at this. What the heck? Got some pretty heavy wear into the sidewalls. Probably good enough for a spare for now, but man, just everything's breaking. But I thought it'd be a good opportunity to inspect the hitch since we put a lot of weight on this hitch, and I want to show you guys just to see what kind of problems we have, if we have any problems with the hitch. So getting close to max ton weight. I think the max on this is 1325 on the hitch component. We're right at 1250 most of the time, and so let's see how that's wearing. And I put a lot of weight distribution into that, so let's check it out. The way today's going, wouldn't be surprised if there was problems, but it doesn't look like we're getting problems. Everything's looking good. I don't see any cracks on this side. The hitch is holding up very well. Very good. What a beefy hitch. Yep, we're good to go. Visual inspection passed. Look down inside the tube. Everything looks good. Awesome. So we're going to tackle this big monster. This is the rear axle. Oh, there's the sumo string. Oh, look. No cracks. Unlike what Timbren told me they would be. Bunch of nerd. Just aggravating. Aggravated. And this guy is also looking good. Hey, you can use a GoPro as a little mirror so you can see. Awesome. This component's looking pretty good. Alright, so we're going to get these zipped off and get this rear axle draining. I'm excited about this, guys. This is going to be great. Get some new rear axle fluid, and then we're going to test and see what exactly, or look and see what exactly the rear differential looks like with all the weight that we've been putting on it. And so I suspect it's just fine, but we'll get in there and we'll test on it. Oh, as far as pan, I want to use that big giant pan right there. I know it should only have like 3 quarts of fluid in it, but this is what I'm going to, that's what I'm going to put in it. So I'll use that to drain. Should be good to go. And probably not going to cut y'all on for taking it off and all that. There's a couple other videos for that. One thing I did want to check though is some people have said they have a reusable gasket and some people said that they don't. And so this one looks like it's got the reusable gasket. So we'll get that off and get that cleaned up. We'll be good to go. Alright guys, so I got the rear differential cover off and the fluid drained, and I want to show you what 60,000 miles looks like with about 10,000 of those towing. Look at this rear diff. It's got good wear pattern on the teeth. Nothing's chipped, nothing's broken, and I'm real pleased with what I see. Check out those spider gears. Not too shabby. Oh, this overpowering light here. Let's see if we can get a better one. But anyway, there we go. Look at those spider gears. Ain't they pretty? Everything's looking good. Wear pattern's looking great. Right in the middle where it should be. The magnet doesn't have a load of crap on it. So, there's the magnet. And it's got some, mostly just from break-in, but other Silverados that I've seen take the diff cover off, and they had a whole lot more shiny than this one. So overall, I'm well pleased. I'm going to get this cleaned up and get this rear differential put back together, or the cover put back together. This reusable gasket, it looks like it goes on just one way. But I just want to make a mental note that it's got, at least this one has this little flange down here on the bottom right side. So I would make sure that you reorient that correctly. So I'm going to get this off, get this cleaned up, clean out the inside of the differential. There's a little bit more fluid in there, and I'm going to pull that out, and then clean up this diff cover. I gotta go get some Loctite because I forgot. Look at that pink, probably red Loctite. The impact really worked a little bit to get these off. They're only supposed to be at like 20 foot-pounds or something like that. I'll double check that and put that back down in the comments. But we'll get the torque meter out, torque wrench out, and get these all torqued back up, and then get the fluid back in it. We'll be good to go. One more thing, I wanted you guys to see this too. Me and my buddy found out the hard way a couple years ago that these bolts that hold the ring gear on are actually reverse thread. So if you go to take them off the normal way and use an impact, you will break the bolt off. So if you're changing the ring and pinion, go ahead and hit that reverse on those instead of that forward. Okay guys, so I've got the rear differential mating surfaces clean. I've got all the fluid out that I can get out, and I've got it sort of reinstalled. What I've done is just put two bolts in, and I've fed these through before I actually put the differential cover on. And so kind of holding it in my hand, I use those as kind of some guides, and I put the gasket in between, you know, like over these bolts. So I kind of just held it up. I just held these two up as kind of little handles. And so now all we got to do is loosely reattach everything, and we want to make sure that we don't over tighten anything, because this technically needs to go down. It needs to tighten as flatly as possible, if that makes sense. So you want it to go tight, but it has to be flat. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and zip all these in, but on my impact I'm going to change it to the lowest torque setting, which is going to be 1, and then just kind of loosely snug them up like so. Alright, so we'll just snag these up, just a little click, and then we'll get the rest of these hand tightened in with the impact, and then we'll get to filling it up. Should take 3 quarts, pretty close to it. I'll catch you guys back on once I got these all zipped in. Alright, so they're all zipped down, and now I need to torque them. So I'll be using my torque wrench. These call for 20 foot-pounds plus 20 degrees. So that's a little click and a little ooga. That's really what we're looking at. So not very much holding these on, just 20 foot-pounds per fastener. So let's get that done, and I'll catch you guys back on here in a minute and talk about differential fluid. Just a little tip, guys. I didn't have a paint pen, but what I've been doing is the bolts that I've tightened down, I'm just taking my little utility knife and just making a little score on it, just so I can see that it's done. And so I'm gonna finish getting these tightened up, we'll get it filled up, go for a test drive. Alright guys, so here's the diff fluid, Valvoline 75W90 full synthetic, nice little flex fill bag. Jonathan's gonna hold the camera while I fill them up, so you guys can see how that works. If it goes blank, then just all you gotta do is squeeze the bag.
It went blank.
Huh?
It went blank.
You just touch the screen, it'll come back. It's actually still recording, it just turns your screen off to say battery. Man, that bag's cool. Sweet.
It smells like that orange goo.
Yep, it's definitely stinky. I don't
Indeed.
know how else to put it. So that's one. Let's put two in. When we took Eric's differential apart, you guys remember Eric from one of my early videos? He came over and helped us with a transmission cooler. We meant to make a video about his Suburban, but it just didn't happen. But when he had a G80 locker brake, and as far as we know, nobody had ever been in that differential, ever.
Why don't you just use the nozzle of the other one?
You are a smart man. I could do that. And the thing is only about two quarts, maybe less than 2 quarts, came out of his rear end. 10-bolt rear end.
Did you put a new gasket on, or did you just need RTD?
No, they actually come with a reusable gasket.
Really?
Yep. It's rubber and metal, and it's awesome. Yep, she's right at the fill hole. Perfect. Just perfect. Here's the gear oil that came out of the Silva. It's actually not bad. The pan was pretty dirty before I filled it up, so there's some trash in it. That's not from the drain, that's just from the pan. But overall, pretty good. Okay, first drive with the new rear axle fluid. Let's see how it goes. Are you nervous, Steph?
No.
Not at all. It's been sitting for about 25 minutes and no leaks. So we should be good to go. Alright guys, it's been a long day of exchanging wheel bearing grease and doing a rear differential. I've still got an oil change to do before we go to Florida. The oil change, the air filter, and the spark plugs, and the belt. I've got to get those done. I'm going to try to get those done either tomorrow or Monday. So Monday or Tuesday, I've got to pull the camper down to our tire shop and get new tires put on it because stupid Goodyear Endurance. Anyway, y'all take care.